And welcome to, another edition of Open Mic Wrestling Night here live, twitch.tv/Calypso426. If you are not listening on the live window, which is today, March 21st, 2019, you are listening by way of Fill in the Void Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, and many other podcast outlets as well. Let's get this screen going. There I am. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Again, whether you're watching live or you are listening by way of a replay, which is still awesome. Very much appreciated. Either way, I'm actually going to pull up something really quick on my podcast page over on Spreaker. Still at 660. It's great. Now, what I like about this here, take a look. Well, I'm not going to show you, but if anybody who doesn't use Spreaker doesn't know already, you could have a way to identify where people are listening from. So about 3/4 of the listeners of the show come from the United States. About 1/4 of them come from the United Kingdom. And the most listened to city, San Jose, California. I don't know where it came from. I'm not questioning why it's San Jose, why, where, how, I don't know. And the only part of it is that I appreciate you listening wherever you're listening from. United States, United Kingdom, Spain was another big area, Indonesia somewhere. Actually, let me see if I could look that up again too, because it's cool where it says everything's being listened to from. United Kingdom, Virginia, United States, New Jersey, Maryland, Haringey, United Kingdom, Bury St. Edmunds, Barcelona, Spain, Port Orchard, Washington, California. It's really cool because you really don't know who's listening and where they're listening from. And, again, every little bit which way is always appreciated. The support is appreciated. However which way you're supporting it, whether you're watching live on Twitch, whether you're listening on by way of other outlets, it's all very much appreciated. So thank you all in advance. So, little different direction of the show today. I was supposed to have a co-host with me today. Unfortunately, they are ill, so they will not be making it with me today. And I threw it out there for other people if they wanted to come on, and nobody answered the call. Well, one person answered the call, and I'm kind of waiting to see if they actually call in. But if you're watching, you're also more than welcome to talk on the Twitch chat. If you want to verbally discuss anything in the world of pro wrestling, the topics in which I'm going to talk about, or anything else you might have in mind, 657-383-0105 is the number to call in if you are listening live and if you want to call in and talk anything pro wrestling. Otherwise, again, if you're watching twitch.tv/Calypso426, you may talk through Twitch chat, which is fine too. I will read it on the air if you want to get involved. And for those who are watching live, or for those who might be listening by way of the podcast, usually Thursday sessions that are live they re-air or they come up online Friday at noon-ish, and if I do a weekend edition, it'll come up the next day. As for this weekend, I don't know if I'm going to have anything coming up or not, as per my job, my real-world jobs that are vital to, well, any job really is vital for survival, but I just gotta make my bills, man. So I'm just trying to pull up something here really quick. So there's a couple big things that came out today in wrestling. As per usual, I don't necessarily discuss Raw or SmackDown Live as like a full review. I might be doing something in the very near future, where I'll be discussing one of those shows, not by podcast, but by written review. Once those details are ironed out, I will be sure to let you all know first. And if you want to follow me on my socials, again, if you're watching live here on Twitch, you see them on the screen for the show. Open Mic Wrestling, WRESTLIN on Twitter. Open_Mic_Wrestling_Night on Instagram. And if you want to follow me personally on Twitter, at Calypso426. So I like to try and keep things consistent. But to the point of what I was saying, where I don't normally discuss Raw or SmackDown in great detail on the show, because there's other things to get to, and a million other podcasts listen or they discuss Raw, SmackDown in detail, and their opinions of Raw and SmackDown in detail. There's many other, you know what I mean? So I always felt, because I used to do it, and I felt that unless there was something big that happened, that I would briefly touch up on it then. And something big did happen this past week in the shows. Well, two things. Well, let's go three. Let's go with Raw. Let's go one with SmackDown. Let's go one with NXT. Raw, obviously the continuation of Ronda's bad attitude, and now her husband, Travis Brown, gets involved. One thing I'll say, it's far and away the Ronda, Becky, Charlotte match is far and away the match that I would put my money on will be the closing match at WrestleMania. It'll be the closing match at WrestleMania for many reasons. One mainly being Ronda's star power, and people are going to be looking forward to Becky Lynch in the match, hopefully winning the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Whereas, and Ronda's attitude by itself is more intriguing than the Becky Charlotte saga that's going over on SmackDown. And it's proving right now where, at the beginning with the whole feud, it worked because Becky did both shows. Now I don't believe she wasn't on the other show on Raw this past week. Her and Charlotte do a stupid segment on SmackDown where, to me, I think the biggest disconnect there was having Kevin Owens on during a talk show segment. It just feels so, obviously we already know what pro wrestling is, but like that you needed to set up tension between Becky and Charlotte. They, by themselves, have a long enough feud anyway to where you don't need another antagonist, another person to egg them on in Kevin Owens. You just need something where it seems a little more organic, I guess is the best way to put it, and show off of how much they truly dislike one another. And that's something where that was a big disconnect with that segment. So that kind of leads into both shows, but I have more interest in that match being the main event than what little they've done with Brock and Seth to this point, where that's the other Royal Rumble winner heading into a Universal Championship match at WrestleMania. That could be discussed for another time. But the main thing I wanted to get to first here today was the Kofi Kingston match on SmackDown. And the Kofi Kingston match, it was a great match. Another excellent showing of Kofi's endurance, of his ability to. I know this isn't what they're going for, but he's definitely proven himself to be like the Iron Man now of WWE. You're wrestling in 2 matches within a matter of 6 weeks, where I can't remember the time of how long he was in the Elimination Chamber, but he was in 2 gauntlet matches over a certain period of time, and lasted over 50 minutes in each. And now you feel like Kofi gets his big moment, and he wins. He's going to WrestleMania. Then McMahon's music hits. By the way, you got to defeat Daniel Bryan too. And from things that I'm reading over on Twitter and the like, they're saying that the moment McMahon's music hit, the air literally got sucked out of that arena. That the mood changed. That, and I'm not trying to put words in people's mouths here, but it seemed like, who gives a shit anymore? Who really cares? Because now you're taking away Kofi's moment again. And I don't know how I feel about the full circle thing about now Kofi being relayed to as a B+ player, coming from Daniel Bryan, now being on the opposite side of that, where Vince McMahon himself is now helping protect Daniel Bryan, or just really going against Vince going against Kofi being there. Now, I had a huge problem with the whole segment in of itself. The match was exciting. The match was great. The match is over. And I had no interest in watching the Daniel Bryan part. I watched anyway just to kind of see, all right, maybe they go a different direction. No. They had Bryan